and a side note to that also is that she said, oh, well, we can record another version that says, there you go, you know, in case it comes out as a single on the radio so that people will be okay with it. And then we sat there and thought about it for a minute in silence. And we both looked at each other and went, no. She said, yeah, because if you do that, then you're going to piss off all the other people who like the fact that you're singing about a guy. And I was like, I know, right? So stick to your guns, right? That's what Lady Gaga does, and I'm inspired by that. Would you ever go back to your natural hair color or drastically change your style? Do you feel locked into the dark hair and nail polish makeup thing now that's become your signature? I don't know. I guess I'm just going to go with my gut. I mean, I probably will want to experiment with a different look at some point, and when I want to, I will. The natural hair color, probably not. I look like Opie, and it's just... freckles and strawberry blonde hair are not very rock and roll to me. And I look 12 that way. So I like to look a little more exotic, a little bit more over-the-top, theatrical. I like the dark pops. I could see myself maybe bleaching it one day to like that white color. That'd be kind of fun. But no time soon, don't worry. Don't worry. What's the craziest thing that has happened unexpectedly while you were on stage, and how did you react to it? Oh, when that chick threw a dildo at me in Toronto, that was unexpected. It hit me in the leg during a whole lot of love, and I kicked a whole lot of that love right back. Didn't expect that. No more sex toys on stage, guys. Come on. Although I kind of laughed. It was kind of funny. But don't throw it at me. If you're going to throw something on stage, just throw it onto the stage. Don't throw it at me. It's not necessary. Would you ever do another reality show like The Amazing Race or Adam's Rock of Love? I think I had my fill of reality TV. I'm really thankful for American Idol. It put me where I am today. But I want to really focus more on making music and things that go with my music. Do you read album reviews? And if so, what is the most valid or interesting critique you have heard on your album? Yeah, I do sometimes. I do. I find I'm pretty objective. You know, like when I was on Idol, I liked what the judges had to say to me. I didn't take it personally because it's all constructive, or it can be if you take it that way. I take it with a grain of salt, but I do listen. And one of the things I heard about the album was someone said, I don't know, it's kind of all over the place, and it almost seems like some of the songs are wearing Adam more than Adam's wearing the song. And that's an interesting point of view. I think one of the things that I love about being in the recording industry is that each song is a different experience. You're working with different producers, you're working with different writers, some of them I've written. Also, the songs themselves take on a different character. I tend to find myself vocally taking on characters, sonically. If a song's real sexy and kind of intimate, it gets breathy and it gets kind of, If a song is like a real robust rock song, it's a different color of my voice. If the song's really pretty and high and falsetto, that's a different color. So I think that that's just kind of part of what makes me who I am as a vocalist, is that I have a bunch of different kind of ways to approach singing. And, you know, if a reviewer feels like they're a little confused on who the identity of that person is at the heart of the song, then maybe they should just come to a live show and then they'll say it's me. When you're feeling insecure, what's the one thing you do that never fails to make you feel fierce? I do feel insecure from time to time, guys. I mean, you know, I've done a lot of work on myself and becoming more confident and comfortable in my own skin, but there are times when I feel insecure, and I think the thing for me is that I feel a lot better about a lot of things if I just talk about it with a friend. So if I'm feeling down about something, I'll pick up the phone and call one of my handful of friends that gets me, that's known me for a long time, that can make me feel better about something. And that's something that I do for those same friends too, so it's definitely, you know, I have a big family of friends, and it's definitely a trade that we give each other. Did you ever go back to your apartment after the finale of Idol, or did you just leave it all behind? Coconut water kefir, by the way. This is very good for you. It's good for your digestion. And I love the taste of coconut. What I'm endorsing? Oh, I'm endorsing lots of stuff. I didn't say who it was by. Okay. Did you ever go back to my apartment? I did. I moved out right around the end of the year. So I had been holding on to it, and I was subletting it to a friend, and I recently got all my stuff out of there, and it was really weird going back to it, because right after I got off the tour this summer, I moved into a house that I'm renting. But I still had my apartment. I was just holding on to it just in case. And, yeah, it was weird getting everything out of there. It's strange. I lived in that apartment for 5 years. It was a studio apartment in Los Angeles, and I lived there for 5 years, and it was a little tiny little shoebox and lots of memories and experiences in there. And now I'm living in a 3-bedroom house that I'm renting, and I've never lived anywhere this big. It's not even that big, but it's just big for me compared to a studio apartment. And I've never had my own house, so it was definitely a slight adjustment. The first couple nights in there by myself, I was like, this place is too quiet and too big for just me. But I've learned to really love it. It's my little sanctuary. Have you ever had a crush on a cartoon character? Yes, I did. I actually had a big crush on Storm in the X-Men cartoon when I was a kid, and then I started dressing up like her, so that was kind of confusing. What's the one song that always makes you happy when you're sad? You know, I've talked about this artist a lot, Goldfrapp. There's some music, if I'm feeling really stressed out or under pressure or busted about something, I put on all of her down-tempo stuff. I put together a little playlist on my computer, and it just makes me breathe and feel at peace and tranquil, and I'll light some candles, and I can relax really quickly with that music. Highly recommend her. What role, if any, does Judaism play in your childhood and or current life? Do you celebrate any Jewish holidays? Well, I've said this a couple times, and I don't mean this in any sort of negative way, but I'm not that Jewish. I am Jewish. My mom's Jewish. My dad isn't. I went to Hebrew school for about, I think, 6 months to a year when I was about probably like 9 or 10. And those Hebrew videos that are floating around YouTube were actually done for a favor. A friend of mine knew a rabbi here in Los Angeles. It was the High Holy Days. They wanted to get a vocal of some stuff on there, and they were like, it's in Hebrew. And I was like, well, I don't know Hebrew. And so they said, well, you'll learn it phonetically. And it was nice to be asked. It was really cool to be going into temple and being there for those services, because I haven't really been that involved in my blood faith in a long time. So it was very interesting, and it was a cool way to get kind of back in touch with my roots. And I learned Hebrew phonetically for those songs, and it was a job. I got paid. You've done so many wonderful photo shoots for various magazines. Thank you. Are you earning money on some of these, or are they just promo deals? Yeah, they don't pay. They don't pay us. It's more to express myself as an artist and to get some cool visual things out there, and also to just create awareness that I'm here and that I have an album. So yeah, I like the fact that I don't need to get paid for that. I like photo shoots. I have a good time with them. Oh, tell us more about the song titled Can't Let You Go, listed on the international release of your album. This was a song that Greg Wells wrote with Claude Kelly, and I recorded it, and I actually really love the song. It's fantastic. It was really difficult trying to narrow down which songs were going to make the initial standard release album. It was a nightmare, because we, meaning my A&R team and I, had about 16 songs that were just flawless. I thought they were all great. So we had to figure out which ones kind of fit together for the standard release, which ones kind of fit the mission statement of blending classic rock and disco and dance with current electronic pop rock glam thing. Which ones fit that first and foremost? And Can't Let You Go has a slightly more indie, emo rock type sound to it. The vocal's pretty powerful, though. I'm really excited to have you guys hear it, and it turned out really great. Okay. Do you cook? What are your specialties, and when are you inviting us all over for dinner? Well, all of you could probably fit in my dining room, I'm sure. So, it's really... I don't cook that much. My specialty, I would say, is breakfast food. I'm really good with, like, a sautéed spinach, egg scramble situation, lots of cheese, veggies cut up in it, some meat. I can do those pretty well. I'm really good at minute rice in the microwave.